Chapter 3581. The reason Charlie Wade defeated Amon Ramovich was actually to set an example to the members of the Nordic royal family and make them less pretend in front of him. And he is not afraid to reveal his identity. After all, there were only a dozen or 20 people here today. As long as he wanted, he could put all these people on the ground and rub them hard, and then save the dying Nordic queen and then help Helena ascend the throne. Soon after, he asked Helena to punish them for any crimes, and arrest them one by one. Or, he can directly provide psychological clues to these key figures, so that they will go crazy in the future, and no one can find out the problem. However, he thought that Richard was very good at reasoning. In fact, he immediately took the front incident as the main reason. It was just that the speculation in Richard's heart was the complete opposite of reality. He thought that the cataclysmic front integrated the Wade family, but in reality, it was Charlie Wade who integrated the cataclysmic front. With this idea, he hastily got up and took the initiative to help Amon Ramovich up. Amon Ramovich was beaten and lost face. He was about to get a little face from his mouth, and he shouted and shouted angrily, "The surname is Wade, you dare to beat me, believe it or not, I will call the former KGB immediately. The world's elite is here to kill you." Quote. After Amon Ramovich finished speaking, Richard covered his mouth, and could only whimper a little. An angry Amon Ramovich, struggling to let go of Richard's hand, Richard quickly whispered in his ear, "Amon Ramovich. My friend, you must not provoke Charlie Wade. They are now giving half of the family property to Front, which means half, the Wade family works for Front. In the face of such great importance, Front had to support the Wade family. You know, those former KGB agents, calling in succession, it's not enough for cataclysmic Front to grind their teeth." Quote. When Amon Ramovich heard this, his expression was stunned for a moment, his eyes widened, but there was already anger inside, and all that was left was panic. He exclaimed in his heart, "Damn! How did I think of this? Doesn't this mean that the Wade family expended hundreds of billions of euros of property to pay for the protection of cataclysmic Front? The protection fee paid by the Wade family, I want to be 10 times more than all my assets. In the face of so much money, Front will definitely stand out for Charlie Wade. I am really blind. I have provoked him this time." Quote. Thinking of this, Amon Ramovich couldn't wait to slam himself to death. As far as he knows the resources of the former KGB, in front of the tens of thousands of soldiers in the cataclysmic Front, he is afraid that he will not even be counted as a fart. So, he hastily said frantically, "Sorry, Master Wade, this is my cheap mouth. Don't be like me." Quote. Charlie Wade naturally heard what Richard whispered to Amon Ramovich just now, and when they saw their misunderstanding, he didn't say too much, but asked coldly, "Why don't you finish what you just said? You want to find the KGB elite to kill me?" Quote. No. Amon Ramovich shook his head like a toy, and said in a trembling voice, "I don't know the KGB elite at all. I'm just bragging about it. Please forgive me, Mr. Wade." Charlie Wade said blankly, "Do you think I am so stupid?" Amon Ramovich said frantically, "Master Wade. I really don't mean anything else. Don't think too much." Quote. Charlie Wade waved his hand. "I don't want to listen to your nonsense. The palm of your mouth. When will both sides of your face become swollen? When will you stop, and then move the chair and leave here?" Quote. Amon Ramovich suddenly didn't know what to do. Richard hurriedly reconciled at this time and said with a smile, "Master Wade, this is a trivial matter. Please don't take it to your heart. We'd better turn this page quickly. It's good to enter the banquet." Quote. Charlie Wade glanced at him and said coldly, "Is it the face of my Wade family that can be humiliated by a Russian oligarch? And you are the same. The royal family in a small country is also worthy of the yin and yang in front of me. Arrogant, who gave you the courage?" Quote. Chapter 3582. Richard panicked too. The stronger Charlie Wade, the stronger he is in his judgment. Moreover, the more he was afraid that Charlie Wade would be really angry. Otherwise, if the cataclysmic front really got used to dealing with him, he would not be able to hold it in at all. So he hurriedly said, "Master Wade, just now I had a problem with my attitude. I apologize to you, and I hope that adults have a lot of them. Don't be like me." Quote. Olivia didn't think that her father would go easy on Charlie Wade, and said, "Father, how can you apologize to him?" Quote. Richard shouted and scolded, "You shut up." Quote. Olivia didn't expect her father's demeanor to change so quickly, and just as she was about to ask what was going on, Amon Ramovich next to Richard had already started bending from side to side and slamming his own cheeks. He was really frightened by Charlie Wade. For fear of Charlie Wade being dissatisfied, he directly let Cataclysmic Front deal with him. Olivia was dumbfounded, and really didn't understand why Father and Amon Ramovich were so afraid of Charlie Wade. And Amon Ramovich slapped himself with dozens of slaps and his cheeks swelled up, before asking Charlie Wade faintly, "Wade. Master Wade, now you are satisfied." Quote. Charlie Wade glanced at him, waved his hand impatiently and motioned for him to come out. Amon Ramovich accepted the amnesty, quickly moved the chair, ran to the furthest point from the long table, and sat down honestly. At this moment, he had a little thought of revenge in his heart, but he prayed in his heart, hoping that Charlie Wade would not trouble him again. As for Helena, if you can't get married, forget it, and you can't offend the Wade family for Helena. Who could have imagined that Amon Ramovich, a European oligarch king, was now in front of the Chinese and should be forgiven for constantly slapping his face? Olivia couldn't understand it anymore, and lowered her voice to ask William's fiancé next to her, "What happened? Why can't I understand it?" Quote. William shook his head and said in surprise, "I don't know, I don't understand." Quote. William's parents were both human, and suddenly thought of going with Richard, so his father Bushy Rothschild hurriedly said in a low voice, "William, talk less at this time and don't provoke the surname. You are a man." Quote. Bush knew very well that although his surname was Rothschild, his relationship with the real nuclear family was so distant that he thought of ways to get closer. In this case, the self-mobilizing energy is naturally much worse than Charlie Wade's. What's more, people tend to have the front behind them. Therefore, if you can't provoke other people, don't do it, otherwise it won't end well. William didn't understand why his parents were also jealous of Charlie Wade. He wanted to ask what happened, but he was scolded by his father's stern Wade's, so he had to give up. Olivia couldn't understand it any further, and she thought to herself, why are my father and Father William afraid of Charlie Wade? This is in Northern Europe. Is it necessary to be so afraid of him? Quote. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for new updates. Thank you very much for watching. Keep safe everyone and God bless you all.